Hi, and welcome to Produce for Kids FoodRx. FoodRx is here to provide you information to help you empower you and your family to make healthy choices. I'm your new host, Julie Harrington. I am a registered dietitian and a chef, and today we're going to be talking all about immune boosting foods. So there's not one magical food that's going to boost your immune system by itself. It's the variety of foods that we eat. And we want to make sure that we're getting it in all forms. In fresh, in frozen, in cans, in dried. The possibilities are endless. You don't always need to just go straight to the produce department and only shop even just the perimeter of the store. Something like canned goods or the frozen section is going to give you really great key ingredients that will help with boosting your immune system. So today I selected a few from my own kitchen to talk about today. And these foods are packed with certain nutrients that help with boosting your immunity. Let's talk about citrus. So citrus, something like a clementine, an orange, a grapefruit, lemon, limes, all are packed with vitamin C. So these little guys right here, I love clementines or halos, are really great for little hands. What I like about them too is that they last pretty long, and you can even pop them in your fridge and they'll last even longer. One thing I like to do when you buy usually a big bag of these clementines is I don't go through them fast enough myself. So as I start to notice if they're starting to go bad, I will blend them with a little yogurt and pop them in these silicone containers. I'll add that blended up kind of smoothie-like right in here and pop this in the freezer. And now I have a little easy fruit pop ready to go when I'm looking for something sweet. Kind of like a creamsicle. You will always find onions in my pantry. You always want to store your onions and something like potatoes in a cool, dry place, not in the refrigerator, but maybe in the back of a pantry, maybe not sitting on your counter where bright light's coming in and the sunshine is shining through. So onions have a lot of these sulfur compounds and zinc. So what I like about onions is they are a base of so many different recipes that we have. You can start by sauteing them, you can caramelize them, add them on burgers, you can develop a soup with them. So onions is one of those staple ingredients that can help with your immune system. Spinach is also something to keep on hand to help with your immune system. It's packed with vitamin C and also zinc to help keep your immune system strong. So something about our dark leafy greens is we don't necessarily think vitamin C because we usually think of our orange, our red, our yellow color. When our spinach starts to age, you might see that it kind of changes to that creamy yellow color. It's because the chlorophyll right now is taking over, giving it this beautiful green color. But as it starts to age, that vitamin C color will really start shining through. So something with spinach is you can buy it fresh, you can buy it frozen. If you're adding it to smoothies, it blends right in. Also, if you're using it for a raw salad, my little suggestion is to kind of take some time and take off the stems because we want that nice light texture of the leaves. Additionally, you can freeze it from a raw state and put it in your freezer, or you can just buy it frozen. Usually if you're buying it frozen though, you want to let it thaw and wring out all the excess water because you don't want to water down what you're cooking. When you are buying your fresh spinach, a lot of times it's often found in those little clam shells. A little tip to make it last a little bit longer is after you open it, put a little piece of paper towel on top of your spinach and then close it. What's gonna happen is that's gonna be a little barrier, so when any moisture comes up to the surface, it's not gonna drip down on your leafy greens, causing them to wilt. So spinach, again, can be breakfast, lunch, dinner, part of a snack, anything. So really good immune boosting food. There's a lot of investigation right now about turmeric. This little spice has anti-inflammatory benefits. You can season your rice with it, you can add it to soups, you can toss some vegetables and roast them in the oven. The key is to add a little bit of black pepper. That pepperin with their curcumin from the turmeric helps it be more absorbed, so you're getting all of those anti-inflammatory benefits. Another great immune boosting food, actually a recipe, is soup. Soup has some comforting feeling, especially when you're feeling sick. Mostly it may be the placebo effect of feeling that your mom, your grandma, or someone you love made that for you to help you feel better. But it also has some other benefits. It's usually packed with really great ingredients. Think about all your soup recipes. Typically the base is your mirepoix. Your mirepoix is a combination of onions, celery, carrots, and sometimes garlic. So that's going to be the base already loaded with immune boosting properties. Then you start building flavors. When you're enjoying soup too, it also has that steam, those flavors that you're inhaling that will help break down your congestion. So I do have a healing soup cookbook that myself and another dietitian wrote together. So if you're looking for some new ideas, it's called the Healing Soup Cookbook. So all canned tomato products are going to be a staple in my pantry. I like to build sauces, add them to soups, and even puree them to add into a hummus. So something like your canned is actually just as healthy as your fresh tomatoes. Why? It's because that canning process is at the peak of ripeness and it really locks in that nutrition. Something like lycopene is actually higher in canned tomatoes versus your fresh tomato. So something to look for though, when you have canned products, is that a no salt added option or even a lower sodium option, because you can always add a little bit more salt to season if you need to, but you can't take it out. So petite diced tomatoes, I love crushed tomatoes. You can even find canned tomato products that are already seasoned with basil, garlic, oregano in there. So it kind of takes that guesswork out of that for you. So definitely some canned tomatoes. Also, some other canned vegetables are really to keep on hand because they're shelf stable and very affordable. So something like this, you can buy for 88 cents, $1, and it can last for a longer time in your pantry. So again, when it gets into a package though, you wanna be a little bit more mindful. Check your nutrition facts label, see how much additional ingredients or added salt or preservatives there may be in there. So I always look for one that just says no salt added. Again, I like to season my food itself. If you buy canned vegetables that do have salt in it, don't worry, they're still going to be a healthy choice for you. Another great affordable pantry staple are canned beans or even dried beans. These are packed full of plant-based protein, which is essential for your immune system. That protein is those building blocks to help repair the cells. So something like your canned beans, you can keep and add to rice and beans. You can add to a soup, you can add on top of a salad, or my favorite with these roasted chickpeas or these chickpeas is you actually dry them off. And my little tip is you put them in the microwave first. It really takes out all that moisture, and then you roast them in the oven. You can do savory versions. I do a little garlic and olive oil and Parmesan cheese, or you can do a sweet variety where you do a little bit of cinnamon and sugar, and it's a really great protein-packed snack. Then we have our peppers. They are definitely known for their vitamin C. You have your different varieties like your green, your red, your yellow, and your orange. But did you know they all start out as a green pepper? And then through the ripening process, they turn to the different colors as they ripen. So your green is your unripe and typically used more in dishes that are cooked because they need to break down a little bit further. Versus your yellow, your orange, and your red are almost better for snacking, which can be better for snacking because they're a little bit sweeter. So little fun fact about our peppers. If you ever look at the bottom of your pepper, this one has 3 bumps. This is considered a male pepper. And a male pepper, their seeds tend to really clump on the top, but they tend to be a little less sweet. Versus your female pepper would have 4 bumps on the bottom, and their seeds tend to fall a little bit inside, but they are a little bit sweeter. So something to incorporate if you're cooking with onions. You can also saute some peppers for some fajitas. You can slice this and have them ready to go for a snack as a dip. Or my favorite are those little mini ones where you can stuff them with hummus for a fun little snack. So blueberries are a really great option to keep on hand. Now they're not always available all year round, so if you don't have fresh, definitely go for frozen. During the summer months when the farmer's market is having these beautiful big blueberries, I actually like to buy them fresh, wash them first, dry them, put them on a sheet of parchment paper on a baking sheet, and then freeze them individually. This will prevent them from clumping when you store them in the freezer for later. So your blueberries, again, another great source of vitamin C, and this helps with wound healing. So something to add on top of your oatmeal in the morning or your cereal for breakfast. You can add it into salads. You can pair it with yogurt. There's so many possibilities that you can use these blueberries. Thank you for joining me today to learn about immune boosting foods. Head over to produceforkids.com/foodrx to learn more about these immune boosting foods and other topics, as well as some delicious recipes and other content to empower your family to make healthier choices. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time on FoodRx.